Good morning, students. I am Pankaj Mishra, your physics teacher, here again with a new video on physics class. Students, as you all know, we have already started with this chapter, that is work, power, energy. I have uploaded 2 more videos for you already. I hope you all have gone through the videos, you have gone through the terms that I have told you. So, some of the topic that was left in this chapter we will be discussing today. So, the first topic is different forms of energy and their interconversion. Different forms of energy. So, in this, first of all, we'll talk about mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Students, as we generally know, mechanical energy is the sum total of potential and kinetic energy, that is mgh plus half mv square. But if we'll talk about the definition, we can say that the energy possessed by a body due to its state of rest or motion. This is called mechanical energy. Okay. Now we will talk about what is potential energy. Potential energy, we represented it as U. So we usually say that the energy possessed by a body at rest in its change position or change in size and shape. The energy possessed by a body at rest in its change position or change in size and shape is known as potential energy. We can represent by an example also. If a ball is thrown up to this height h, it will reach this height h in some time. So at this particular time, potential energy will be mgh, because this ball will possess some mass also, acceleration due to gravity also, and this will attain some height, so this will be mgh. Some of the examples that we can also use from daily life, when we wound a watch, its spring get wounded up, so it's also a example of potential energy. A compressed spring, a bent bow, a stretched rubber string, these all are the example of potential energy. That is the energy possessed by an object due to its position or shape or size. Now we will categorize this potential energy into 2 parts. Potential energy into 2 parts. First is your gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy, and second one is your elastic potential energy. First we will talk about gravitational potential energy. As we know, each body experiences a force of attraction due to the earth, which is called force due to gravity or the weight of the body. So the potential energy possessed by a body, potential energy possessed by a body due to force of attraction, on attraction of earth on it, is defined as gravitational potential energy. And as we know, when we throw an object towards certain height h, the value of g get decreases as height get increases, but this potential energy will get increased when we throw an object, and when it will fall down, that is it will fall under acceleration due to gravity, then what will happen, the value of this gravitational potentially keeps on decreasing with the increase in acceleration due to gravity. Velocity also increases at this particular time. In case of elastic potential energy, when an external force is applied on a non-rigid body, that is whose shape and size cannot be deformed, so on removal of the force, it regains its original position or you can say original form due to the property of elasticity. Property of elasticity. So this is called as elastic potential energy, or in the other words, elastic potential energy. We can define it: the potential energy possessed by a body in the deformed state. In the deformed state, due to change in size and shape, is called as elastic potential energy. Okay. And if we'll talk about the work done, in the whole, we can define as W equal to force into displacement. So this force will be m into g, and this displacement will be h. So this work done will be mgh. Okay. And if two heights are given like h1 and h2, and let the mass of an object be m, so the net change in potential energy delta U will be mgh2 minus h1, since this h2 will be greater than h1. So this will be the form. Now if we will talk about the kinetic energy, it is the energy possessed by an object due to its motion. So kinetic energy will be equal to half mv square, and we have derived this equation. Let us consider an object. Let an object of mass m is moving with velocity v. Let the force that is being opposing it be F. Let A be the retardation produced by this force. In moving a body to a distance s and coming to rest. Then this F equal to m into A. This will be the first equation. Now the kinetic energy of the body will be equal to the work done by this retarding force. So this will be K equal to F into S. This is second equation. Since initial velocity that is U is V, but since the body due to the presence of this retarding force is now in the rest position, so final velocity will become 0. This V will become 0. So from equation of motion, V square equal to U square plus 2as, in place of this we can substitute this value. So in place of V it will be 0. This will be V square minus plus 2 into A. This will be minus A, since acceleration is in retarding position. So this will be minus A. So V square minus 2as equal to 0, V square equal to 2as. So in place of this we can write V square, we can write this. So displacement will be V square by 2a. Now substituting this value in equation K equal to Fs. So in place of this F we can write ma, and in place of this we can write this one. So A goes with this, so this will be half mv square. So kinetic energy will be equal to half mv square. There is one more important relation between kinetic energy and momentum. I'll tell you something about momentum, a very short definition. It is the product of mass into velocity. Momentum can be represented as this. So we have to derive a relation P is equal to 2 under root mk. This k is kinetic energy. So for this, what we'll do, we'll take a body of mass m with moving with velocity v. Then kinetic energy, from the definition, its mathematical representation is k equal to half mv square and p equal to mv. These are the two equations. Now what we will do, if we will divide and multiply. Divide and multiply by m. So this will be k equal to half mv square into m divided by m. So this will be half m square v square by m k. This will be. So what can we write? We can write half mv ka whole square upon m, and p is mv. So in place of this mv we can write p. So k will be half p square by 2 m, or p square will be 2mk, or p equal to 2 under root mk. So this will be the final result. Students, just go through this two derivation that I have told you today. These are very important for your exam point of view. Numericals can be asked on this derivation, or you can be asked to derive this equation. So this is all for today that you have to go through, and some other topics are also left, like conservation of energy or interconversion, for 3 points that we'll discuss in the next video. I hope you all have understood what I have told you today. Just go through the video, ask your doubt in the groups, or you can personally text me also. Thank you.